All right, guys. So I just witnessed the meltdown of the century from TYT. Well, I mean, they're responsible for most meltdowns of the century, as they have another piece of fake outrage, trying to take advantage of the tragic incident that happened in Colorado Springs, where an LGBTQ nightclub was shot up by some lunatic. Now, we don't know the motive of the lunatic. We have no clue why he did it. We have no clue why it happened. But these people, apparently they do know, right? They know so much. They're so confident that they know why it happened that they are going on insane rants, accusing right-wingers, conservatives, or people who disagree with them. In this case, Tim Pool, he's not a conservative or right-winger, according to him. I mean, he might as well be, but he says he's not. Cenk Uygur is accusing people on the right of being pedophiles because of, I guess, this situation that happened in Colorado and some things that Tim Pool said on Twitter. So without further ado, this is kind of long, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get into it, and we're just going to go from there. But before I get into it, I just want y'all to keep in mind that preliminary reporting on this, I'm just saying, don't be surprised if, you know, this story, the narrative here changes very quickly, as apparently the Colorado Club Q shooting suspect is non-binary. They use they, them pronouns. Now, on the paperwork, the court document paperwork, they use the pronoun mix. So MX, which is a non-binary pronoun. So I'm just saying, again, if I was, you know, people in the mainstream liberal media, I would be very, very, very careful trying to come to conclusions so soon and directed anger at a certain group of people before all the facts come out. But again, the left has never waited for the facts to come out. They're just going to smear everybody that they disagree with politically as responsible for this, even though, again, we don't know a motive. So just keep that in mind as we get into this.
So, okay, here comes the right wing. Kurt Schlichter on Twitter. I don't think we have to tolerate pedophiles because some a-hole shot up a gay bar. Frankly, a lot of people trying to convince us we need to tolerate pedophiles seem to be happy to use any excuse to silence our opposition.
I'm sure he had that take when it came to getting Roy Moore elected in the Senate in Alabama.
No,
right?
Look, the right wing loves pedophiles.
They love it.
And I'll explain that in a second. So then Tim Pool responds, because there's no end to the depravity of right-wing media. He says, we shouldn't tolerate pedophiles grooming kids. Club Q had a grooming event.
How is it a grooming event? It's a drag show at a, mind your own goddamn business.
All right, so here's the thing. There's a whole lot of straw manning in this video, okay? Allegedly, this bar the next morning, they were going to have a drag show for all ages, okay? Now, again, do we know if that was a part of the motive? No, we don't. But I think it goes without saying that even if that was the motive, there is no excuse to use this type of violence, even if that bar was holding a drag show where kids were allowed to go. Okay, that's not an excuse to take out violence against people. The way that you handle that is through your vote. Okay, it's through your local elected officials creating laws and legislation that prevent this type of stuff. That's what you do. Okay, but with that being said, TYT is going to act totally clueless about what people on the right are concerned about when it comes to some of these events and children being involved in these events. They're going to pretend like that the beef is with adult events and adult events only, and that's just simply not true. Nobody on the right, no concern. We don't have a problem with drag queen events for only adults. Nobody has an issue with that whatsoever, right? You can do you. Nobody cares. What people have problems with is when you have these drag queen shows and then you have kids there. Again, not an excuse for any type of violence or anything like that, but that is what people have a problem with.
There's no kids there. Consenting adults can do whatever the hell they please. They don't need your goddamn permission.
So again, I'm assuming that they're just conveniently leaving out the part where, again, the club was going to host a drag show for all ages. Again, no excuse for violence. But I'm just saying they're conveniently leaving that part out of it.
Oh, do we need permission from grifters now to enjoy our adult lives? Is that what we need? I need permission from Beanie Boy Tim Pool to go to a drag show?
And by the way,
shut up and sit down, Tim. How about that? How about that? Always involved in everyone's personal life and personal business. Didn't say a peep when it came to Roy Moore fondling 13-year-old girls and molesting them.
Well, that's an allegation. That's not proven. Those are just allegations. Again, if he did that, wrong. But those are allegations, not proven.
Peep, because it's all about political power. It's all about getting your guys elected into Congress. And don't give me any of that garbage about how, no, I'm not on the right. I'm not on the right. I just spew right-wing propaganda all day and all night. I'm not on the right. Shut up and sit down.
That. I'm not debating that. He's a monstrous right-winger. He's a terrible, terrible person. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, look, I'm jaywalking, I'm progressive. But I think we should all gay people are pedophiles and groomers, and we should all attack them and just do all these horrible things so we can goad our lunatic audience. And yes, Tim Pool, Matt Walsh, Tucker Carlson, you all have lunatics in your audience, and you weaponize them, and you know it. I mean,
yeah, so this is a straw man. He said that Tim Pool says that all gay people are groomers. Nobody says that. Nobody's ever said that. Nobody's ever tried to make LGBTQ and groomer mean the same thing. Okay? That term has only been applied to people who it seems are trying to have sexual conversations or engage in, certain activities with kids. That is the only people that term has been applied to, and that's been applied to straight people as well. It's not an LGBTQ thing, but again, he doesn't watch Tim Pool. He doesn't watch Matt Walsh. They don't consume any type of conservative content. So this is just a classic case of anybody that pushes back against far left extremism, no matter what it is, you're automatically some type of bigot. You're a homophobe, you're a transphobe, you're a racist. Let's throw nuance out the door. That doesn't matter. You're just a bigot if you disagree with far left extremism, whether it's right or wrong, okay?
Look at him, I'll finish the tweet to be fair. How do we prevent the violence and stop the grooming, he says. Oh, in other words, well, I didn't quite like the way he murdered all those people, but hey, I really like the fact that he attacked these people that I'm calling groomers.
Yeah, he's getting into the territory of defamation, right? He's getting into that territory. I mean, he's just making it up. That's not what Tim Pool said. Tim Pool is not celebrating the deaths of those innocent people. But this is what Cenk is saying. Cenk is literally accusing people of celebrating the deaths and cheering on the deaths and wanting people to be shot and killed over their sexuality when that's just simply not the case. It's not true. They're just making it up. And the reason why they're making it up is because they know if they actually engage with the real argument, that they don't have an argument. Like what the right is against, they're on the right side. I mean, how can you defend children being exposed to drag queens and sexual themes at such a young age? I don't understand how you can defend that. They can't defend that. So what you do is that you just straw man. You straw man and you just accuse them of smearing all gays, just being anti-LGBTQ in general, when that's just simply not the case. I mean, you have portions of the LGBTQ community that are against what we're saying. Again, none of this is excuse for violence. Violence is always wrong. I'm just saying that they're not honest about the issues on the right when it comes to some of the things that's going on.
Based on nothing. I mean, he said it, Club Q had a grooming event. He said, it's not a goddamn grooming event, you monster. Okay, so what is a drag queen? A drag queen is someone who dresses in a way you don't like. Are you insane? Are you insane? Why do you care how they dress? Why do you care?
Well, because in a lot of the situations, again, if you were actually educated on the topic, some of these drag queens are getting naked. Okay, they have their breasts out, they got their butts out. I mean, it's almost like being in a strip club. Now, in a sane world, we would not allow children at a strip club. Okay, strip club is 21 and up. Okay, for the most part, or 18 and up. But if you throw LGBTQ on it, for whatever reason, it becomes acceptable. It's now about tolerance and acceptance, and a lot of people just don't agree with that.
It has nothing to do with kids.
You should go.
Maybe we don't like the way you goddamn dress with your stupid dumb beanie, okay? So what is it? Oh, should we call you groomer, pedophile? And then say, oh, I know somebody should do something to stop Tim Pool. He's wearing a beanie. He's a monster. He probably molests little kids because of his stupid beanie.
Wow.
Okay.
This guy is really comparing Tim Pool wearing a beanie to drag queens wearing lingerie and thongs. I mean, this is so disingenuous. It's fake. It's fake outrage meant for woke virtue signaling points. They don't actually really believe or mean any of the things that they're saying. They don't even know a solid motive for what happened. How can you be so outraged when you don't even know a motive? Again, you can be outraged in general that it happened, but you can't direct that outrage at anybody in this fashion unless you actually know the motive, which they don't. They don't know. Again, this is 100% fake. 100%.
Okay, we don't do that because unlike you, we're not trying to get people killed. Unlike you, we're not monsters who are constantly attacking people who are gay and in the LGBTQ community. I'm sick of these right-wingers. Look at it, they're almost celebrating it. I mean, he nearly brought goddamn pom-poms to the shooting.
Listen, if you have problems with men dressing as women or men dressing in drag, first thing I would do as a right-winger is I'd clean my own room, okay? Why don't you go have a conversation with Steven Crowder, who never misses an opportunity to dress as a woman, which I have no problem with, but clearly he has an affinity for it.
Yeah, well, I don't have any problem with it either. Even though I think it's weird, but I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with drag queens who dress, appropriately. But again, we're not talking about just men dressed as women. We're talking about in some situations we have men dressed in lingerie and thongs in front of children. That's what we're talking about. Again, that outrage would be the same if it was a woman, right? It's the exact same thing. This is not an LGBTQ thing. But see, they want to make it an LGBTQ thing because they're the ones that are actually associating LGBTQ with, that kind of behavior that people are outraged about. They're saying that, look, by definition, this is what LGBTQ is about. And I'm saying, no, it's not about that. I'm separating the two, okay? Again, it's not about LGBTQ. If, again, a woman was doing this, I'll be just as upset. Actually, I've done videos where women have, older women have kind of told stories about hitting on, little boys or whatever. And I say that's wrong. That's wrong. Because if it was reversed, everybody'd be saying it's wrong. So it's wrong when older women hit on little boys. It's not about LGBTQ. It's not.
And you guys seem to think anyone who dresses in drag is somehow a groomer. So why don't you go have a conversation with your groomer buddy, Steven Crowder?
But the right wing are disproportionately groomers and pedophiles. So let's be super clear. I mean, let's talk about what do we know about the giant cases of pedophilia in this country. Number one is Catholic priests, one of the most conservative professions in America. Right wingers, Republicans, Catholic priests, and they're always constantly talking about, oh yeah, a Catholic priest said that Nancy Pelosi or Joe Biden couldn't have communion. Catholic priests are the best, they say. And meanwhile, they're the worst pedophiles in the entire country.
And the Boy Scouts, by the way.
Boy Scouts, they love the Boy Scouts.
Right wing compared to the Girl Scouts.
Nest of vipers and pedophiles and groomers, okay?
Actually, pedophiles are found in basically any profession, all professions that particularly deal with children, okay? Whether it be a government official, law enforcement, teacher. You know how he leaves that out, teacher? You know how many stories we get on a yearly basis about teachers and inappropriate behavior with children? Again, funny how, again, the pro teachers union, Cenk Uygur leaves that out, right? That, pedophiles we found in all professions. It's not necessarily something that's left wing or right wing. It's just you have sick, twisted individuals that work in, all professions in society. And particularly they tend to work in those that deal with children a lot. I'm just saying, again, so disingenuous.
And the right wing's like, yes, I love how they molest the little kids like that. Go get them, Boy Scouts. Go get them, priests.
They said that the right loves that. Again, this is just getting into just straight up just defamation. I mean, what are you talking about? Nobody cheers that on the right. Like, what is wrong with this guy?
Tell me I'm wrong. You guys love the Boy Scouts and Catholic priests. You never criticize them.
Okay,
Jeffrey Epstein. Really? Oh, Donald Trump says he's a great friend of mine. He said, I know he likes them young. He said, I know he likes them young. He said it.
Yep.
And he wished Ghislaine Maxwell well twice after she was arrested. The biggest groomer in American history. And as president from the podium, he's like, oh, I wish her well.
Yeah.
And Tim Pool, did you say, hey, no. Donald Trump is a monster who supports pedophiles and groomers?
Well, Donald Trump's his daddy, right? Yeah. He's your daddy, right? Tim Pool, you love your daddy. Daddy can do no wrong. Daddy can go ahead and wish Ghislaine Maxwell and whoever he wants well, knowing full well that this woman was standing trial for literally grooming young girls and women to be molested and sexually assaulted and in some cases raped by Jeffrey Epstein. But your daddy is the one who wished Ghislaine Maxwell well, so that's okay. That's okay.
Biggest pedophiles in American politics: Dennis Hastert, former Republican Speaker of the House; Mark Foley, another Republican who tried to molest the kids who were interns and pages in Congress. And every step of the way, all the Republicans circle the wagons. Roy Moore, oh, our molesters are awesome, they say. Please vote for our molesters and our pedophiles, Republicans say. Republicans, you're guilty, okay? So, oh, you don't like it? Does that hurt your feelings? Meanwhile, you call gay people groomers nonstop, and you don't care about their feelings. Now they're doing another talking point. All teachers are groomers and pedophiles. Why? Because the teachers union gives money to Democrats. So they're trying to destroy the teachers union. So Joe Rogan does it, Tim Pool does it, every Republican politician does it, and then I'm supposed to care about your goddamned feelings as you encourage people to murder gay people day in and day out?
There are no facts, right? There's no facts in this rant right here, bro. He is just making stuff up, dude. I'm surprised they even put this video up, right? If I'm the editor at TYT and I'm watching this video, deciding, should I put this up? I would go to Cenk and say, yo, bro, I'm not sure if you want to put this one up, bro. I'm not sure because at the end of the day, you're saying a whole bunch of stuff that is just, you don't have any evidence for. It's just not true. There's no pictures of Trump or any proof that Trump was participating in any activities. Why are you trying to accuse Trump of being a pedophile? Again, there's none of that, but they're just saying it anyways because, again, fake outrage. Fake outrage. Fake. They don't know the motive. They don't know any information, but they're this outraged at the right. Right. I'm just saying. It'd be interesting if this story took a different turn. It'd be very interesting to go back and watch a lot of these clips, these meltdowns from mainstream liberal media and these people, if this guy turns out to not be a right-winger or a Trump supporter. But it doesn't matter because they're going to make him out to be one anyways. It doesn't matter. That's the whole point of the initial outrage. The initial outrage is simply to make everybody think that this was a conservative, that he was a right-winger for sure. We don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But the point is to just say it is. Doesn't matter what happens when the actual facts come out. If the facts come out and they don't fit the narrative, they're going to just move on past the story. These people's lives won't matter, right? The lives that were lost won't matter to these people. They will never remember these people. They don't even know the names of the victims, guys. They don't know the names of the victims. They don't know anything about the victims. But they have all these outrage. Again, it's fake.
He said it. He talked about how Club Q were groomers after they were massacred. The right wing are monsters. And I'll tell you right now, the number one reason they constantly talk about pedophilia is because it's going through their heads. Nonstop, they're thinking about kids. I guarantee it. The reason Tim Pool wears a beanie is because he's trying to contain the pedophilia that's in his head. That's why he's always talking about it. He's seeing it everywhere. Why? Because he's projecting. Oh, Tim, did your feelings get hurt? You call everybody groomers and pedophiles, and you have no concern knowing full well there are lunatics who can't wait to murder them in your audience.
See, again, this is just, it's crazy because left-wingers do stuff all the time, right? You talking about Roe v. Wade, right? Did the guy that tried to assassinate Brett Kavanaugh, did he do that because he listened to Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian and their outrage over Roe v. Wade being overturned? How they're taking away women's rights? Did he attempt that assassination because of that? We had an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid that was killed, ran over, mowed down because the guy thought he was an extremist Republican. Is that guy in the TYT audience? Did he listen to TYT and how dangerous Trump supporters are? The guy that beat up Marco Rubio's canvasser in Miami because he was trying to get people to vote Republican? Did they listen to TYT? So you got murderers in your audience. You got people that go out and assault and beat up people in your audience. You got people who try to assassinate Supreme Court justices in your audience, right? Ain't that's how this works? Again, no side should do this. right? No side should come out unless you have actual real evidence, that is. Like, for example, that 18-year-old that got ran over because he was a Republican, an extremist Republican, that definitely happened because of the rhetoric on the left. There's no doubt, right? That's straight out from the Biden TYT playbook, right? In terms of motivations. But for the most part, if you don't have something that's concrete like that, you shouldn't be blaming your political opponent or smearing a whole group of people as the reason why this happened. Lunatics are lunatics, man. And lunatics can be of any political ideology. It's not necessarily political ideology. It's the fact this person's a lunatic. Because most people that adhere to a political ideology don't go and shoot up these clubs, right? But again, let's not focus on that. Let's not focus on the fact this guy, again, was a lone actor. He was a maniac. He's an evil person. No. Let's focus on Tim Pool and Matt Walsh and Tucker Carlson. They don't know the motive, right? I just have to keep mentioning that. We don't know.
No, you can't say that about me. Oh, I can. I don't know. I don't know that if you are. I do know you show all the signs of it. Two can play at that game.
Yeah, I mean, look, and keep going if you want to. Keep going because you'll go after medical professionals, doctors, nurses. You'll go after teachers. You'll go after workers, all sorts of groups of people who have no power. And then elections roll around and you're like, wow, how did the Republicans underperform so significantly? Could it be that they spend all their time attacking hardworking people in this country? They spend all their time defaming in the worst possible ways innocent people in this country? Because that's their bread and butter, Cenk. So
did she really say the right spends all that time defaming people after literally just defaming Tim Pool, Matt Walsh, Tucker Carlson for 7 minutes straight? Yeah, man. I think you guys get the gist of this meltdown. This was one for the books, man. Again, you know, these people on the left, they think they're so self-righteous, and it's like, you're not. You don't care about these people. You don't care about the fact they died. You don't care. You're simply just using them to score political points. How can you be so outraged at somebody when you don't even know the motive? You have no clue what the motive is. You don't know if this is a personal thing. You don't know if this guy just snapped for whatever reason. You have no clue. But you got all this outrage and this anger. Again, it doesn't make sense. Again, I'm angry that it happened. It sucks that it happened. It's terrible. I feel bad. And that's why I'm not coming out here and trying to assign blame to anybody. Because at the end of the day, we don't know anything about it. You got to reserve your anger for the right person when it actually comes time to blame somebody, if there's anybody to blame besides the person that committed this crime. Which that's probably going to end up being the case. Just blame him. Point your anger at him. Don't point your anger at everybody else. But again, you know, this is acting, bro. That's what this is acting. This is trying to get 1 million views. Their channel's struggling. And they just go, they'll say whatever. They'll just, they'll say whatever. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.